Here at FantomWorks, we're often asked, bias ply versus radial tires on a classic car. Darrell wants a demonstration of exactly what the issues are with bias ply tires.
Okay, so obviously this has got to be the radial, right?
That's the radial.
I do know a little bit about radial tires because that's really all I've had in growing up was just with radial tires. But that was really all I knew about tires.
I'm Dan.
I'm Darrell.
Darrell?
Yes, Darrell.
Nice to meet you, Darrell.
Yep, nice to meet you too.
Bias plies are commonly used on classic cars to get that really cool vintage look, but they come with risks. Yeah, I just don't want to kill either one of us today. I'm already having a bad enough day.
Yeah, I don't like dying on a Monday. I did pray before I came here today.
All right, so these tires, you know, this is 1950s technology, okay?
When they make any tire, they take something, whether it's string or wire rope, and they wrap it around a mold a bunch of times. Okay. And then they pour rubber around it. Okay, and this is what holds your tire shape.
It looks like a shoestring on a boot.
Basically, that's what it is. It says right here, polyester cord. So, you know, I mean, we know from the 60s, polyester was a thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about negative habit transfer. We're all used to driving modern cars, modern suspension, and really great tires. When you jump into a classic with old technology suspension and old tires, then that negative habit transfer can get you when you don't expect it. So what we're doing here is we're gonna see how your car drives with 1950s technology. Okay, so, but you feel how it's just plowing, so this car is understeering horribly. We're gonna see if we can get through this corner. Feel how spongy these tires are, right? Modern cars steer and handle in a certain way, and your classic with old suspension and tires handle completely differently.
I don't think I'd ever, in my right mind, ever go around a corner like Dan.
I really pushed the envelope on test drives.
Oh, yeah. So I was scared to death.
The tendency for a car to oversteer or understeer are greatly magnified by adding bias ply tires. Bias ply tires, for me, can be uncontrollable. Much as I hate to admit it, even I can push things a little bit too far.
Where a tire started is in the bias ply category. But because when you add or subtract weight, the contact patch, which is the spot on the ground that the tire touches. Right. Everybody's seen the tire and it looks a little flat on the bottom. That's the contact patch. Now, as you load and unload a bias ply tire, that contact patch will change size because these tires are super flexible because all they have is string. Weight travels to the right side of the car. Those tires get fat, the contact patches get fat, and the ones on the opposing side get skinny. So it's real uneven.
Right.
And that's what makes it spin out because all of a sudden you've got all your weight on two tires and nothing on the other two.
Yeah.
And there's not enough contact patch to hold the vehicle stable.
All right.
So engineers needed to change that. They wanted the contact patch to stay more uniform. Okay? And that's where the wire rope came from. Because wire rope, let's face it, wire rope is way stronger than string any day, or wreckers would have ropes instead of cables.
If you're using a classic car to do tight, fast turns, you really need the extra traction of radials. I was having a lot of fun. I was probably getting a little too aggressive. I dropped into first gear, brought it up to about 5,000 RPM, and the wheels spun so fast that the tires lost all their grip and it got away from me. That's a first. But this is the way cars were.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a very different response from the way cars are today, right?
Yeah, really.
So
there's no stabilization like we have today.
No. This car, it's like driving on wet Kleenex. Should you use a bias ply or a radial tire on an older classic? Unfortunately, there's not one simple answer. So if your classic car is going to be more of a Sunday driver, the bias ply tires are more authentic and can still use the original alignment specs. If, however, you're going to get a little bit sort of squirrely with that old classic car and you want to have a lot of fun, you probably need to be looking more at going to a performance radial tire with a different wheel combination.
I didn't know that the cords in those tires were actually just made out of string.
I survived!